This episode of Bradley's House Podcast is brought to you in part by our friends at HayGoodFarms.com. HayGood Farms' goal has always been to provide hemp products that improve your quality of life, and their process is really the difference maker. HayGood Farms handles your product from the dirt all the way to delivery. This ensures a top quality product every time. And all their hemp comes from the same process, from the same facility, ensuring consistency in every order. Check out HayGoodFarms.com. That's HayGoodFarms.com. And check out their incredible line of gummies, cartridges, oils, skincare, capsules, and even a line of products for our furry friends in the pet care section. The point of using CBD is to make sure that you're not putting bad stuff into your body. So check out HayGoodFarms.com. You can see their lab results, reviews, and read more about their process and what makes HayGoodFarms.com the leader in the CBD and hemp industry. We thank HayGood Farms for sponsoring this podcast and working with the Knoll Family Foundation in getting Bradley's House open to help us in our war against opioids.
I'm Jaime, and you're listening to Bradley's House Podcast.
Nothing is impossible, but certain things are highly improbable. Don't think I'll meet your kind again, not in this lifetime.
Hey guys, welcome back. Come on in and make yourselves at home, as you should when you're a guest in Bradley's house. I am your co-host, Jarett Orr. She is the executive director of the Knoll Family Foundation, and exactly what I want to be like when I grow up. Our host, Ms. Kellie Knoll. Kellie, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Jarett. It always amuses me the way that you introduce me, but thank you for always saying such nice and amusing and interesting things.
Yeah, someday I'm going to grow up. I hope to be just like you.
I really feel like you could aspire to something much greater, but okay.
You're the executive director. I don't know what else could be. I mean, so Kellie, we're here at Bradley's House Podcast again. We've got another amazing episode lined up. I've been excited for this one since we found out that we had it locked in. Who is our house guest today?
I am just as excited as you are, Jarett. We both are big fans of the band Tropidelic. I have to say, the first time I saw them, and I can't remember exactly, I think it was about 3 years ago or so, and I was so blown away. These guys are not just great musicians, but great performers. And so I'm super excited that we have the pleasure today of speaking with Derek McBrYde from Tropidelic. Derek, thank you so much for being on the show with us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about how you got started in music, please.
Well, fifth grade, I joined the school band. I started playing trombone and eventually tuba. I did tuba middle school through high school. Somewhere around middle school, one of my art teachers gave guitar lessons, and I got guitar lessons, so I played guitar, and then, I just learned like a bunch of instruments from there.
Was there any part of you that figured, okay, guitar is a lot easier to carry around than a tuba?
Well, I honestly, I started playing tuba purely out of the comedic aspect of it. Like, I thought it was just like, I was a husky kid growing up, and I was like, it makes sense that I would play the tuba. This is what I'm gonna do. And then guitar was, more for like the stuff I would listen to in my free time, like pop music.
Sure. And what did you listen to in your free time?
In middle school or now or when?
All of the above. We want to hear it all.
Oh. I was really into like metal and stuff in middle school and high school. I had kind of my like funk awakening, which is still kind of a firm foundation for everything I do now. But it really just varies so much.
I think that's probably part of what made Tropidelic such a great fit for you, is the broad spectrum of sounds that you guys have.
Oh yeah, we do everything.
And you're originally from the Ohio area?
Yeah. I'm from a farm town, like an hour south of Cleveland called Rittman.
Okay. Born and raised?
Had Navy parents, so not born and raised, but that's basically like from first grade on. It was there in Northeast Ohio.
Awesome. And so how did you connect with Tropidelic? How'd you meet up with those guys?
Well, there's this venue in Northeast Ohio called Nelson Ledges. And
sure.
Yeah. We all used to go up there. That was like where the hippie festivals were, the Badfish festivals. And I've been seeing Tropidelic for a while and was a fan. And basically, like, I was just a drunk, crazy guy that like kind of became friends with them. And one day, Rhodes, the singer, asked me to help promo after a 311 show in Cleveland. This would have been early 2012, and part of getting people's attention was like shouting and playing guitar and doing crazy stuff. And that was actually the first time I played music with any of them. And then I guess eventually I just kind of wormed my way in, and we started a horn section.
Wow.
Yes.
So that was the start of the horn section?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure they weren't shit until the horn section came on, because you guys steal the show.
Thank you.
Not to say that, the whole band isn't just fabulous, but I mean, come on. It's tough to compete.
Thank you.
There's a lot of energy coming from that horn section. Now, I'll tell you, I came across you guys probably 2015, I guess. I went to go see a Badfish show, actually, in Buffalo, New York, which is where I live. I think it was at the Town Ballroom. And a friend of mine bought tickets and said, "Oh, you love Sublime. We're going to go see Badfish." And I said, okay. And we got there early, and you guys opened up for them. And I was definitely digging it. First couple songs, but I was just getting there and opening band, whatever. And then you guys hit I Got Five on it. And I pretty much dropped my drink. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? This is amazing. And from then on, I was completely locked in as a fan. I've seen you guys several times since. In fact, before I did the podcast here with Kelly, 2 years ago, I guess, or 3 years ago, I was working with Jose Canseco, former Major League Baseball player, and we shot a live video at his house, and I didn't even realize it until the comments started pulling in, but I was actually wearing my Tropidelic shirt that I bought from the merch table at one of your shows in Buffalo in that video. And as many people recognize the Tropidelic shirt as they did the Jose Canseco sitting next to me. So just to give you an idea of how awesome you guys are and how fast this is growing for you.
Well, thanks for wearing the shirt, man.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. I was happy to do it. Like I said, you guys are absolutely amazing, and like I said, you guys have hit Buffalo a few times. We're just neighbors, right down the 90 from each other, so we both live in like a really shitty part of the country. So it's cool that you get to come sometimes to Buffalo.
Yeah, we love Buffalo. Town Ballroom is awesome. It's a great room.
It really is. Now, you guys just were out on this side. I say this side because typically I'm on that side, but right now I'm on this side. So for everyone looking, and I'm over here. You guys were out in California.
That wasn't confusing at all, Jarett.
Yeah, no. Just over there. See this one? All right. So you guys were out in California, and you guys had an opportunity to play in Long Beach at Cali Vibes. Man, what was that like?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, we always really, really look forward to, going in somewhere, especially like a large group of people that hasn't seen us before. And, we're we're like stretching and warming up before, and we just go out there and put in as much energy and as much of a performance as you could imagine. And just like the experience you talked about of like, opening band and then a few songs in, you know, you're kind of grinning and you're into it like that. That is a very, very rewarding experience that I kind of live for, being in the band, is going in. I kind of compare it to cold calling and telemarketing. You know, like the difference between a warm and a cold call. Cold call telemarketing, which I've done, is where you call strangers and try to sell them stuff. And it's really tense. It's really scary. But if you get it, it's amazing, you know? And getting in front of people that haven't seen you before, they don't have any warmth for you yet, and warming them up is just great, you know?
Yeah, that was exactly how it happened. And from that moment on, I was a big fan. So it was really cool to see you guys out here in Long Beach and on the big stage at Cali Vibes. Of course, the Knoll Family Foundation had a booth set up. I probably told Kelly I was just running to the bathroom, so don't tell her that I saw most of your set and snuck away.
I knew it.
But it's hard not to see you guys, and it was kind of cool watching the crowd start to really build as you guys were playing. It had to be neat to be there in Long Beach, and I'll tell you, anytime we have an incredible band from the East Coast on, I always like to pump them up a little bit, because clearly the only way you could have a fan base is if you're, you know, right here in Southern California, right? Well, no, you guys are up in Northeast Ohio and rocking this scene, and to see you guys on the stage in Long Beach and to watch the crowd build throughout your set. As a fan, I know it was awesome. I can't imagine being up on stage and watching that.
It's awesome. It's incredible.
Now, I've also done a little bit of research here, and, you know, we love to talk about music on Bradley's House. There's no doubt about that. But our mission, of course, is the Knoll Family Foundation is raising funds to open Bradley's House, which will be a 6-bed recovery facility for musicians specifically struggling. Now, I know that you have done some work in talking in some of the recovery field and some of the things that you've spoke about. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'd love to. So I have, a little over 8.5 years sober. I was, addicted to heroin, addicted to meth, like, was a full-blown drug addict. You'd almost have to ask me specifically what you want to know, because I could sit here and talk about recovery all day, because it's honestly the thing I'm most passionate about in this world, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for it. You know?
Well, can you start by just telling us a little bit about how you became entangled in addiction, and then how you were able to find your way out?
Okay, so I was just a real neurotic kid. I was full of, just fear of social interaction, resentment for, just general high school interaction, stuff like that. And I picked up a Vicodin when I was like 15 years old, and it just fixed everything, Like, it was the best option I had to get through this life at the time, because I didn't have any emotional or spiritual tools to, like, live or to process, life in a healthy way. And that snowballed. By the time all is said and done, I'm homeless, and I'm playing guitar in front of the casino in Cleveland, with my case open, like, collecting tips for just enough money to be well. Like, I wasn't, the last few months out there, I wasn't even getting high anymore. I was just trying to keep the withdrawal at bay.
Sure. And then at what point did you realize that you were willing to do what it took to make a change?
Well, it's an odd question, because life life kind of did that for me. You know, I had been to like 7 rehabs, several detoxes, several psych wards. I've had, you know, doctors tell me that I flatlined, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
But eventually, believe it or not, actually, probably the biggest thing that made a difference was I joined Tropidelic, and I had this sense of community. This was during a period like I wasn't sober, but I was trying to get my stuff together, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we're playing shows, and we're starting to see a little success. And then, you know, I start going on benders, and I ruin everything, betray a couple people, you know, just not a good person. And I get kicked out of the band. And, you know, I had dreamed of being in a band and playing for people my whole life. Like in high school, I used to, in front of the mirror, play bass and play Red Hot Chili Pepper songs to the music playing while practicing like my flea moves.
Awesome.
You know, real crazy on stage. So it's what I always wanted.
Yeah.
And I just ruined it, you know? So then that's kind of what led to the bender of all benders, where I end up homeless. I finally get into treatment, and it's suggested to me to do sober living afterwards, to like basically like, why don't you just take a hiatus entirely from life for 6 to 8 months, just commit to that. And I did that. I went to sober living afterwards, where, you know, you just have a bunch of people teaching you how to live and to be an adult and how to, you know, utilize the 12-step program. And that's kind of when the miracle happened.
And that was how long ago?
My sobriety date is September 18th, 2013.
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Thanks.
So tell us a little bit about the challenges of maintaining sobriety while on the road, doing shows, that kind of thing, because that's a big challenge.
It is. And not in the way you'd think, though. So, like, there's some promises in these 12-step programs, and they've all come true for me. And, you know, one of those is that the obsession and the compulsion to drink and use drugs will be removed. And that was, like, that's the biggest miracle of all, is like, I don't feel temptation towards drugs and alcohol. I'm around it all the time. If I'm standing in a circle and, you know, people are passing joints to each other, I'll grab it and pass it to the next guy, and it does nothing to me. Because I do what's suggested, and that miracle happened for me. The real problem is not even a problem, a struggle, something that I go through, is taking care of myself in a way to kind of nurture that miracle, you know, taking time, no matter what city I wake up in, no matter how many hours of sleep I got, you know, waking up in the morning, praying and meditating, you know, seeking strength from a higher power, that kind of stuff, keeping an attitude of service towards other people rather than just like getting everything I can get out of life. That's the struggle of touring and staying sober, is doing just staying in the solution of the things I learned that got me here. That's the hard.
Absolutely. And how important would you say a program of sobriety has been for you?
It's literally everything. There's without a clear-cut map of how to operate, without a support group, without like this just map to transformation, there was zero chance for me I was 100% going to die. And, you know, I don't, you know, it can get into controversy. I don't say that it's for everyone, because I don't believe it's for everyone. But for me, like, I drank this Kool-Aid, and I'm drinking it till I die. You know, I believe it worked. It's amazing.
It's definitely preferable to the path you were on before, I would imagine. Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people perhaps discount. You know, they, in my experience anyway, anybody who I've ever met that seems resistant to, you know, a 12-step program or whatever, it seems like that's the one thing that they need, you know, like the one thing, the most important thing they need is the one thing they don't want to do or don't want to try.
Well, that's kind of the keys to the kingdom for me is, you know, this basic principle that what I want and how I feel isn't even relevant to what I'm doing.
Right.
I used to base my life on what I think and how I feel. You know, if this feels good, I'm going to do it. If I don't want to do this, I'm not going to do it. And, you know, I ended up a lonely hobo out of that. So the idea of just doing things I don't want to do is amazing now, you know?
Ah, that's great, man. Now, one of the things that we talk about a lot on the podcast here is people believing that they need to alter their minds in some way to be able to be creative, to be able to create. It's why they do it. It's talk to us a little bit about the differences between playing music when you were using and how it feels out doing these shows, you know, clean with a clean mind.
Well, yeah, because I had that too. I used to I used to do meth before shows, and I would call it performance enhancer. But
Sure, yeah, sure. I see it.
That's how I justified it in my mind. But what you just said at the beginning, that you need to alter your mind to get into a creative state, I could say that there's some truth to that, whether you're discussing drugs or not, because I find like I do need to alter my mind state throughout the day. I can do that through breathing. I can do that through talking to somebody with a different opinion than me. I can do that through meditation, through prayer, through service, through whatever. There are still tools that I need to use to get out of myself that are very important for the creative process. You know, the first time I got on stage sober, like I 100% felt like I was going to die. My heart was pounding out of my chest. I thought I was going to stutter. I thought I was going to mess stuff up. But, you know, eventually you do it a few times and you're just comfortable with it.
Sure. You know, I could totally understand that. And, you know, you said performance enhancing. You know, again, we've had so many musicians on the podcast that have told the story that, like, you know, they had to get fucked up to perform or to write or to get creative. And then when they realized, you know, after they've gotten clean and come through their recovery, and they realized, you know, how much easier it was or how much better it was being able to do it clean and with a clear mind. And then honestly, it makes way more sense. Like, I could see the benefit clearly of having that clear mind and being able to perform your art.
Well, yeah. And, you know, if you're using like Coke or drinking or whatever as a tool, eventually you run out of Coke and you run out of beer.
Right.
Finding tools that are available to you at any time that are within you, that's just invaluable, you know?
Absolutely. So obviously, you know, recovery's been a big part of what you talk about. You said it's something that you're very passionate about, and clearly so are we. That's why we've got this podcast going here, to support the foundation. And Tropidelic actually took part in the House That Bradley Built compilation CD that was put out by our friends at law-records.com. CD is still available. Of course, every dollar goes directly to the Noel Family Foundation in an attempt to get Bradley's house up and open. Just quick cheap plug there.
Very subtle.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you guys did Smoke Two Joints, which was a take that Brad did on a classic Toys song. What was that process like?
So for that one, you know, I think we were on tour when we were let know that we were going to be doing that, and we were all really excited. We went back and forth, but we decided with the acoustic nature of how we were going to record it, there weren't going to be any horns. So I actually wasn't in the studio for that one. But I do know that it was mostly our singer Rhodes and our drummer Rex that went in, and Rex was doing the backup vocals.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, it's a phenomenal album that's just filled with so many great artists, and I was so excited to see Tropidelic be represented on it, because it's something that was really neat. Now, who were some of your, if we talked about your musical influences, who would we be talking about, Derek?
I would have to say, like, as far as like what I do in Tropidelic is concerned, my biggest influence of all time, and they're mainstream, but it's Red Hot Chili Peppers. I remember when I discovered like the older cuts and the old YouTube videos and seeing like what they used to do with like costumes, their stage performance, and almost like a little bit of a comedic aspect to what they're doing. That was like a genre of music I felt really comfortable in, because I'm a clown. You don't take yourself seriously, and it's just really funny and fun. And then my influences from there built into like some of the older funk, Brothers Johnson, Sly and the Family Stone, all that stuff, because basically in high school, I always believed I was going to be a bass player in a funk band. How I ended up playing trumpet in a reggae band, I don't know. It worked out, and it's amazing. We have a lot of those influences.
Very different, yeah.
Yeah, but I
was going to become a male model, and I'm a podcast host. Turns out I'm not that good looking, so the modeling thing wasn't going to be for me. But this has worked out well, so I know where you're coming from, brother. I'm feeling you on that.
Yeah.
Same thing, same situation, right?
Same. So, I mean, have you looked at any side projects? I mean, obviously, you wanted to play bass in a funk group. Has that something that you've looked into, or has Tropidelic just got you way too busy?
I've played bass on a couple Tropidelic songs, which was really cool. Our song "Voice of a Generation" was a bass line that I wrote, but side projects. It's funny. It's completely unrelated, because we were just talking about what I was into in high school, but now I'm like really, really into this Americana stuff. And my side project is my solo music, where I play guitar and sing. And then my wife to be here starting Saturday, she plays violin, and I put out music under my name with that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those videos on YouTube, actually.
Nice.
Well, hold up. So where would one go to hear those? YouTube, obviously. What's the YouTube channel?
Well, DistroKid just uploads it to YouTube, but if you go on Spotify and you put in my name, Jarett McBrYde, you'll find some stuff.
Okay, and that's McBrYde with a Y, correct?
Yep, McBrYde with a Y.
Okay, just want everybody to be able to find you. I can't wait to look that up.
Now, Derek, did you get a chance out at Cali Vibes? I mean, I know that you guys were in the zone, but did you get a chance to catch any of the other acts that were going on?
The only two other ones I had the chance to see was Hyrie. They put on one hell of a show, and they're just very kind, awesome people. And then, of course, I was out in the crowd eating a cheeseburger for Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, man. I was hoping you said you saw Wu-Tang Clan. That was like
Wu-Tang Clan, you know?
All right, so I spent the entire festival. I was there from the beginning till the very end, and the entire time I took one picture with one artist, and I just so happened to be coming back from the bathroom, and You God came walking by, and I was like, holy shit, I got to take a picture with you, God. And that was the only picture I took. And I'm like, I'm a huge reggae fan. I love the majority of the bands that were out there, but the Wu-Tang Clan was like, that was like some bucket list shit for me. Was that your first time seeing them?
Oh, yeah.
Wu-Tang was a big deal for me, and I guess Shaggy was cool, but Wu-Tang... Yeah, Shaggy was pretty cool to check out, and everybody was amazing. I can't, out of all of the bands that played, I don't have a bad thing to say about almost any set. But to see Wu-Tang was really pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I did discover that Wu-Tang ain't nothing to fuck with.
No, Wu-Tang.
I was waiting for somebody to say that.
Right.
No. Well, of course they're not. Wu-Tang's for the children. That's why.
That's right.
Wu-Tang is for the children. So I'm happy that everybody got to enjoy that. So this is something that I always like to ask musicians, especially, guys that are out there doing it like you are. What are you listening to on your list right now? Like, what was your last Spotify songs that you were listening to? When I was a kid, I used to ask my dad, I was like, Dad, do you think singers sing their own songs in the shower?
No.
And that's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said. He said, no, they're sick of singing those songs. They do that for a living. They sing songs, other songs that they like. And I was just like, I don't know. Seems like a home run to me. Like, if Bon Jovi's not singing Living on a Prayer and fucking the shower, then I don't know. I don't know.
Right now, I've been listening to a lot of Coulter Wall, who is a country musician out of Saskatchewan.
Our producer is out of Saskatchewan.
Yes,
Yeah.
She's freaking out right now.
Yeah, he has the deepest voice of all time. Listen to him; it's unreal. It's amazing.
What's the artist's name again?
Coulter Wall.
I'm in the room with Anna. She's all, Coulter Wall. He's a comedian. I know exactly who that is. Anna knows everything, but wow, to pull up a musical reference from Saskatchewan, you might instantly become her favorite guest now, Derek.
Well, it's funny. I thought of that. I remembered you guys mentioned Saskatchewan at the beginning.
Yeah, she's super hyped. I mean, I'm not saying there's not a lot of wonderful things that come out of Saskatchewan, and clearly our producer Anna comes out of Saskatchewan, but it's pretty awesome to hear about some musical influences. I just kind of like
Saskatchewan.
Yeah, right.
The best part is
like a not real place.
It's Saskatoon, so it's Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And she says
it's laughable.
She says I say it funny, but Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and it's Canadian thing. Dude, do you know they have different candy than us, Derek? Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Different candy. All right, so here I'll tell you a fun story. Anna and I are in Las Vegas on vacation, and we roll into the Circle K, and I decided to load up on a little bit of candy. So I purchase a Kit Kat. I love Kit Kats. I've loved Kit Kats since I was a kid. And the proper thing to do when you're with somebody, especially a significant other, and you have a Kit Kat is you break them off a piece of that fucking Kit Kat bar, right? So I do just that. I hand it to her. She bites it. She looks at me and she goes, is this like, do you think this is old? And I said, what? No, it's fucking delicious Kit Kat. The same Kit Kat I've had my whole life. She goes, yeah, no, this tastes like shit. And she hands me the other half of it back. So I'm like, this is very weird. So I do a quick Google search. Turns out they do have Kit Kats in Canada, made by a different chocolate company, different recipe. It's a completely different Kit Kat, except for it's still called Kit Kat in the same orange classic Kit Kat packaging. I do more research.
Can't be legal.
I do more research. Turns out she's not familiar with any of our fucking candy. She starts talking about who's a Majus and whatchamacallits, and I don't even know what her candy's called, but it ain't the shit that we have here. And you would think, they're really just like the 51st state, right? It's just they're like connected, right? That you'd think it'd be the same. But nope. No, they have completely different candy, completely different Kit Kat. So when you're listening to your buddy up there, just know that you and him not enjoying the same Kit Kats. Yeah,
I think you've ruined the music for Derek now. Yeah.
Oh no,
Completely ruined the music for him.
It's a lot to take in. Now, you guys have been out on tour. I don't know. It seems like you guys are playing every night somewhere new. You guys just did a run with Mike Pinto, right?
Yes.
I love Mike
him.
Pinto.
He is a gentleman and a scholar. He's a great guy, and his music is awesome.
Isn't he wonderful? I love
Yeah.
that when someone's music is fantastic and then their personality is also enjoyable. It doesn't always happen that way.
True that.
So you're getting married on Saturday, and then where's Tropidelic? I feel like I just saw another announcement. You guys are heading back out soon. Is that correct?
Not exactly soon. So after the wedding, I'll be in Costa Rica for 9 days for the honeymoon.
Ooh.
Come back around for a little while. We've got Sweetwater 420 Fest, I think is what it's called. I should have known, but that's at the end of April. We've got some touring in between with Iration.
Ah, that's what I saw. That's right. I
Yeah.
saw that you guys were doing some dates with Iration.
Then Michael Franny, who is just one of the coolest guys I've ever met. He's awesome. And then we've got our big festival, Everwild, in August.
Oh.
This year we've got Dirty Heads, Hyrie, Little Stranger, Bumpin' Uglies. It's gonna be wild.
Wow, what a lineup.
Yeah, we're really excited about that.
So I got to ask, were you included in the ass kicking of my friends of the Bumpin' Uglies in the taco eating contest?
Yeah, I'm basically responsible for the whole thing.
Tell us. You know what? I feel bad thinking that the listeners know. Fill everybody in on what happened there, Derek.
Okay, so I saw, like, we're real tight with Bumpin' Uglies. Those are some really good dudes. Like, I'm proud to call them friends. But they post about tacos in their fan group all the time.
All the time.
And one day we used to film all these funny videos and post them. And we did this parody of Talk About It, MGK, but it was Taco About It. And it, like,
Remember it well.
Parody music video where I'm like hitting burritos with a baseball bat and all that. And we call them out. You know, like we could beat you in a taco eating contest. And they took on the challenge. We ended up filming it at Sugar Shack.
Oh.
And we were so confident we would win because we were training beforehand.
Right, as you do for
Yeah.
this kind of event.
Yeah, they didn't train. We trained. We went to Walmart beforehand, had a cake iced that said, "Congratulations, Tropidelic." And right after we just annihilated them in the contest, we had somebody bring out the cake and we started eating the cake.
That's awesome.
That's just
That
so
like
amazing.
that.
It was estimated I ate around 4.5 pounds of tacos.
Oh no. Really?
Yeah.
That can't be. That's a lot of tacos.
Yeah. If you watch our second to last Sugar Shack sessions,
Oh.
I didn't eat the whole day beforehand preparing. And if you look at me, I'm just miserable. I'm totally
No.
miserable in all of those videos, and just wanted that contest to go down, you know.
Sure.
So I gotta ask, who really won then, right? Because, you know, they lost, but you had 4.5 pounds of tacos in you. And you know what? You won. Fuck that. You guys took down that taco eating contest. B-Hard took it rough. He had to eat a little crow. He had to eat a little crow in the Uglies group. But I really liked that and enjoyed that. Well, Derek, it's been awesome to have you on and chat and talk a little music and obviously a little recovery. Anytime that we can have a musician on who can talk about their struggle and then their recovery and just kind of let everyone know that, you know, we can recover, and you certainly are showing that right now as you're out there kicking ass and taking names, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate what you guys do, and if there's any way I can be of any help, always feel free to let me know.
I am
Thank
not
you
the guy
so
to say
much.
that to, but
You'll laugh. Thank you so much, Derek, though. We really appreciate it. And keep making that great music and keep setting a great example for people about being a sober musician in this industry, because it is possible. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for you. So thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
absolutely, man. And hey, Derek, just for anybody who wants to check you out, you can go ahead and plug any social media pages or anything that you want. You can go ahead and let everybody know now how they can keep up with you.
Oh, yeah. Tropidelic.com, Tropidelic on Spotify, Tropidelic on YouTube, on MySpace, on Zanga, and on basically any bathroom wall throughout the continental United States.
Oh,
Amazing.
fantastic. Bathroom wall.
Well, thank you again, man.
Thank you.
It was so awesome having Derek come on and chat with us, Kelly. I mean, obviously, we're both big Tropidelic fans, but
Yes.
also to know what he's gone through and to have him tell his story a little bit. And another musician out there in recovery, but still living their dream and doing it at a top level. I mean, we both talked about it the first time we ever saw Tropidelic on opposite sides of the country. We're kind of in these small little venues. And now they're playing these places, Cali Vibes and Cali Roots, and it's just been awesome to see.
Absolutely. And I couldn't be happier for them. I mean, they're a great bunch of guys, super talented. And as we said, when they do a show, they lay it all out there. I have never seen a Tropidelic show where I thought, oh, they were kind of holding back or phoning it in. Like, they really go for it. So I definitely encourage anyone who's not had a chance to see them to check them out if they're in your area.
Yeah, and there are some opportunities coming up. You guys can follow Tropidelic on social media, and I'll go ahead and include some links in the description of the show. But throughout the month of May, they're going to be out with Iration and Cashed Out. They've got the Sunny Days Festival. That's May 20th and 21st. That's out at Nelson Ledges, which is an iconic spot.
Mhm.
That's Iration, Tropidelic, The Elevators, Pacifier, Cashed Out, and Of Good Nature.
Oh, my gosh. What a lineup.
Yeah, awesome lineup there. And then, of course, they are on day one at Cali Roots. So they're getting out there. So there's a ton of opportunity. Make sure you guys are following them. And thank Derek so much for coming on and sharing his story and telling us the Bumpin' Uglies taco story and just kind of sharing some good times with us. And oddly, as we recorded it, he was getting ready to get married. As you guys are hearing this, he's already been married. So
Yes.
Congratulations to him and his beautiful bride. And you can
Very
check out some of their stuff through the links. Yeah, absolutely. And hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys know why we're doing this. We're raising awareness for the Knoll Family Foundation in hopes to get Bradley's house up and open. And we've been doing all sorts of different things. Kelly, I know we have a few thank yous to send out there, right?
Yes, we do. In fact, we talked a little bit about how great the show at Alex's was during our last episode, but we received a very generous donation from Alex himself from that show, and all of the artists donated their performances, so it really was phenomenal. So again, big thank you to everybody who got their tickets, who came out for it. I know there are a lot of people that wanted to be there that either couldn't because of the crazy storms with travel, or because it was sold out. And so anyway, it was a great show. We'll definitely be doing more. And just wanted to, again, say a big thank you to Alex and for his generosity. I highly encourage anybody who's in the Southern California area to check out a show at Alex's. It's an awesome venue, and we'll definitely be back there again soon. And we just had a great show this last Saturday at Sea Legs. Burritos and Ham Apple did a show, had some great special guests, and that was a phenomenal event. Thank you to everybody who came out, and a big thank you to Sea Legs for their generous donation as well. So we sure appreciate all the love and support from the community.
Absolutely. And guys, you can go ahead and click the link tree. It'll get you to all things Knoll Family Foundation. Every dollar goes a long way, and it means a lot in the Knoll Family Foundation achieving their goal and getting Bradley's house up and open. So really appreciate all the love and support all the way from Alex's, like you said, all the way through Sea Legs. And, you know, these events happen. You never know what's going to happen in an Knoll Family Foundation event, Kelly. We had the thing out at Alex's. Unfortunately, Billy Wilson was a little under the weather. So what do we get? We get Miguel up there with Jake doing an acoustic set. You've got the show out at Sea Legs, and you get Swingin' Johnny up on stage doing the Ballad of Johnny Butt. You get Tyson Sullivan up there doing his thing with his brother, another board member. So just always a lot of fun at these events, and certainly appreciate everybody who supports, who can get out to those events, and all of the people who are buying merch and sharing the podcast and doing everything they can from all across the country. It's just awesome to see the support, and it really means so much.
It really does. And like I said, we'll be looking to do another event like that with Jacob and Miguel and Billy, hopefully in the next couple of months, 2 to 3 months. So I'm working on booking that. So everybody stay tuned to our social media. We'll be announcing that soon. Oh, and we'll, of course, be at Cali Roots. Sorry to interrupt you there, Jarett, but we will, of course, be at Cali Roots, like Tropidelic and so many other these incredible bands. It's going to be a 4-day event this year, and I am super excited. We just booked some of the stuff for it, and it's looking like it's shaping up to be a really awesome weekend. And so that's going to be May 26th through 29th, and we're stoked to be there as well. Love the people that run Cali Roots. There's such, as you know, we've had Dan Sheehan on, and of course his wife Amy is an absolute doll. I love seeing her. So anyway, I'm excited to go to the event. I'm excited to see the people, and always stoked to be a part of the Cali Roots family.
I see what you've been doing to me here, Kelly. It was 2 days at Vegas. You worked us up 3 days at Cali Vibes, and now it's the 4-day festival. Yeah. It hasn't even started yet. I'm already tired. I'm
easing you into it. But yeah, my whole big plan here, of course, is that I'm getting too old for this shit, and I'm hoping that you guys can eventually take over for me.
Oh, my gosh. Go listen to you. So, guys, again, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check the description. Get you to all things Tropidelic, Derek McBrYde, and, of course, the Knoll Family Foundation, so you can find out how you can get included, involved, and we can all, as the fans, have our little piece in the next piece of the Sublime story. So it's something that means a lot to us as the fans to be able to help out. So,
a couple of big shout outs I'd like to do, before we finish up. Just a big thank you to Brindy Pepper, who runs our events and our booths. She's amazing. Like, she absolutely coordinates everything. She made Cali Vibes just so smooth. She was holding down the fort literally during the wins at Sea Legs at the Burrito Show on Saturday. So I absolutely could not do it without her. She's been my right hand for the last, I think, 3 years at least now, 3.5. And I can't imagine running the foundation without her. So big thank you, and I love you, Brindy. I'm doing a little heart thing with my hands, but you can't see it. And then also, of course, a big thank you to our producer, Anna, who comes out and helps at all of these events and gets all of these podcasts done, even in the middle of the night. So she really goes above and beyond. So big thank you to Anna. We love you, Anna.
And I think we probably should catch up on a little bit of happy birthdays out there. Both of our dads celebrated birthdays on February 21st. So happy birthday to the host's dads. That's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. And then, of course, Brad on the 22nd. You guys are hearing this on the 23rd. So happy birthday to our extended little family here.
I just turned 54. So remember that, all you people that come and ask if I'm Brad's mom. He's 54.
28.
Anyway,
amazing.
Happy birthday, Brad. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday indeed. So, Kelly, of course, every single time we have a musical guest on, we like to use one of their songs. You get a song every single week on Bradley's House, because how can we not let you out with some music? But we are going to be featuring one from our guest this week. What's everybody going to be hearing on their way out?
You know, originally we were going to do Through Fire. It's a great song, but I think we're going to go with the most recent release by Derek McBrYde on his solo project. It's called Road Back Home, and it's really a beautiful song. So here's Road Back Home by Derek McBrYde.
I hope you guys enjoy it. Until next time, I'm Jarett, or she's Kelly Noel. You don't have to go home, but it's time to leave Bradley's house.
Okay, all set.
my madness. Know it all but so confused. Can't hide the burn holes in the mattress. Life is all that's left to lose. Cross the line somewhere around age 15. Adolescent struggles fade away with morphine. Victim of pharmacy, the doctor's orders made a fiend. Don't recognize the face that's staring back at me. I'll take the road back home. These burns are in the third degree. I see victim mentality. These demons got the claws and deep no soaring with these broken wings. I see ain't who I'm supposed to be. Abandon everything I know. Back home. Hurt and hate to slip away. I'll trudge the road laid for me, focus on today. Look to the ones who taught me, always look above. And nothing ever wins the battle against love. I'll take the road back home. These burns are in the third degree. I see victim mentality. These demons got the claws and deep no soaring with these broken wings. I see ain't who I'm supposed to be. Abandon everything I know. Take the road back home.